What's up? It's Keegan. Now, I know I didn't wait an entire month before making a new video this time, and I'm sorry about that, but I recently got a speeding ticket, and the cop tacked on another for what may or may not have been a 5-month overdue inspection. So, as usual, I made another video to help pay it off. Anyways, this video is about Jhin. Now, Jhin is what we'd call an artist, a performance artist specifically. Using his revolver gun thing, he delivers 4 steaming hot loads of murder to his target, leaving an awestruck audience in a state of pure ecstasy. And naturally, Jhin plays the lead role in lane, making him the pitcher and leaving the opposing laners to be the catchers. So for this build, you're going to start off by running 9 penetration reds. The more lethality you have, the more damage Jhin does with a homemade gun he strapped together with parts stripped from the lowrider sitting in his garage. The rest of the runes are going to be armor yellows for protection, CDR per level blue so you can spam your traps, and movement speed quints to compensate for your lack of gap closers. Then, for masteries you want to go 18-0-12, taking the burning sensation keystone, which will enhance your bullets by lacing them with gonorrhea. And also make sure you pick up Ignite and Exhaust. Taking summoners like Flash and Ghost is completely unnecessary, since the people who escape will later be claimed by Survivor's Guild either way. As expected of the Texan alpha male that is Jhin, he brings truth to the saying, everything's bigger in Texas, when he comes into lane stroking his massive gun that he uses to assert dominance over his lane, despite the Dungeon Master's best attempts of keeping him in the shower. From the moment you walk into lane, you want to be proving to those cross-country runners that you are indeed a Texas Ranger by day and performance artist by night, and is completely ready to blast anyone who looks like they would even vote Democrat. In fact, if Jhin catches anyone not saluting the God Emperor Trump, he'll send them on a trip to the dungeon. And don't think that you can hide your blue political learnings either, because in the special High Noon Jhin skin, he comes equipped with the hyper-advanced high-octane performance-enhancing gunners that give him the ability to see weaknesses in his opponents while keeping sand and other parts of Arabic culture out of his eyes. Alright, that's enough pushing Jhin's ideals, so let's move on to the abilities. Jhin's passive is 4 strikes. Due to the Texans' battered spirits after failing to succeed for the 24th time, their alcohol-induced mental retardation stops him from counting any higher than 4. Due to this mechanic, Jhin isn't the best at stopping aliens from entering our land of freedom. However, when he catches one, his massive gun showcases why he's considered to be a true dungeon master. Jhin's Q is bouncing tear gas canister. To keep the undesirables in his neighborhood from driving the overall value of every upstanding citizen's home in this area vastly far below average, Jhin throws a canister full of chemical freedom when he sees lowriders doing donuts in his cul-de-sac, disturbing this wonderful peace. With each successful knockout blow, the gas starts leaking more and more until the 4th bounce where it explodes over the unsuspecting victims. With each successful kill, Jhin Q does more damage, making it easier to get more kills and money, which later goes towards additional tear gas canisters that he can throw at the squatters next door. Jhin's W is the fulfillment of Texas's very lenient stand your ground laws, where he can stand his ground for up to a full mile away from his home and still be within the law of the land. It can also potentially snare an enemy that's been hit by an allied attack or ability, forcing them to stop, dust themselves off, and endure his lashings after he sprints up to them and pulverizes their boy holes with his Viagra-fueled cock. Jhin's E takes advantage of the bootleg water lines that run under the Texaco area, placing a showerhead in the ground as a trap that spray any unsuspecting individuals entering the area. This ability is a perfect setup for an engagement on the opposing laner, with the help from your lane mate, your jungler, and his completely hetero gang consisting of 18 naked cowboys. The slow can be used to chain a snare with his W, allowing the rest of the goons to easily catch up and purge any undesirables that dare enter his shower. Another good way to use this ability is to harass your opposing laner by placing it in the most inconvenient places possible, being a bigger annoyance than a hive mind of trashy League players arguing about what's best for the game and complaining about Riot as if they knew exactly how to balance it. Jhin's R, known as High Noon, makes him pull out his special attachment and gun oil for maximum range on his rifle. During this ability, he's able to fire his railgun in a huge cone in front of him, each shot doing massive damage depending on missing health, and slowing on hit, with the final shot being a guaranteed crit. This ability performs like shit during most teamfights, since you'll likely be playing against 7 tanks that take absolutely no damage from your ult, but are still able to dive you and easily beat your ass into submission. But if you're lucky, you can secure kills on stragglers. Because I'm the kind of person that enjoys ruining my life with decisions I consciously make, my first item is going to be Edge of Night, because Jhin's best work is done at the Edge of Night, as the memories of the Alamo are retold through the stars. Next, you're going to get Boots of Swiftness to swiftly enforce the strong arm of the law on those who hope to escape the eyesight of Texas State Bird, the AR-15. As with any interaction between true freedom-blooded Americans and those about to be walled, you'll want to make sure that they leave this interaction with something to remember, a mortal reminder, if you will. Now, just like a modern-day Cortez, you'll want to accomplish this by maximizing the amount of burn damage you do, by picking up a Sunfire Cape and Abyssal Mask. Combined, the burn damage output is at levels that should be considered a war crime, but by taking the lead of the Imperial Japanese, you can just deny the crimes ever happened in order to preserve the name of the greatest country on this damn planet, Texas. Finally, your last item is going to be an Ohm Wrecker, to fulfill God's demand for hellfire and brimstone, and shut down the infrastructure of those who refuse to peacefully convert to his way of life, as is the Texan way. Alright, I'm done. As always, don't forget to check out my stream where you can find me live almost every day of the week. And again, as always, you can find the link down in the description.